everybody. Hey guys, how you doing this week? And as we get closer towards Shawwal, I am going to teach you another classic Malaysian favorite, and this is called Nasi Lemak. Now, those of you who are Malaysians, you definitely know what this is. But those of you who are not, Nasi Lemak is actually Malaysia's national dish, and it is a breakfast dish. I mean, it started as a breakfast dish, but today, in fact, you can see Nasi Lemak in restaurants as an all-day dining option. Alright, so I'm going to teach you how to make a healthier version of this. Now, you all know that I'm a health freak, and you know that I look at things which are healthy. So when I first looked at Nasi Lemak and thought, can I make this healthy? I wasn't quite sure. But then in 2018, in fact, I was actually given this challenge by AIA, the insurance company, when they asked me to come up with a beautiful, healthy option of Nasi Lemak. And that's when I set to work, and because guess who was coming into town to actually taste this Nasi Lemak? David Beckham. Okay, so I actually cooked for him, and because this was such a big challenge, I mean, of course, I really researched it and sat down and made the healthiest Nasi Lemak ever. And today I am going to actually be sharing with you that recipe. Okay, so this is something that you really need to know, and it's special. So for those of you who are uninitiated, and I mean those who are watching from overseas, let me just explain a little bit about what Nasi Lemak is, because it's a couple of things that go into this. So basically, it is a beautiful coconut rice with a chili paste or sambal. We call it sambal, which needs a couple of things to make it so flavorful, and it is so beautiful, the smells that come from it. So let me tell you what are the things that go into it first, into the sambal, and then into the rice. Okay, so let's start. So for the sambal, these are the things that we will need. We will need some dry chilies, and remember, dry chilies are hot. Alright, so this will have to be refreshed, and I will show you all that later. We will need some big onions, about 4 or 5 numbers. We will need some small onions, or shallots as we call them here. We will need some garlic, and we will need some ginger. Now this is a special ginger, or even sometimes we call it galangal. We also need some fresh red chilies and some tamarind paste. Alright, now this one, tamarind paste, has got seeds. You have to mix it with water to get the tamarind juice from it. So basically, these are the ingredients for the sambal. So the Nasi Lemak is actually a very filling dish, alright, because it is served with certain condiments as well. Alright, so let me go through that now. So you have your anchovies, or what we call here ikan bilis. Then we have peanuts. Traditionally, they are fried in oil. Instead of frying the peanuts and the anchovies, we are going to bake them. Yep, here we go. And this is a beautiful option also for the tempeh, which is normally fried. Now everybody knows what is tempeh. Is a fermented bean curd, which is really got a distinctive flavor, but which is used a lot in local cooking. Now normally, again, the tempeh is fried in oil, but today I'm also going to bake the tempeh in the air fryer. Then we have eggs, which are boiled, and we have a green. Now, I am actually using spinach today instead of water convolvulus, which is the normal vegetable. We call it kangkong down here. And we also serve it with some cucumber. Now, the rice that is normally used is this white rice, which is quite a sticky rice. But today, because mine is a healthy nasi lemak, I have just decided to make it healthy on all counts. And we are going to use a combination of rice and quinoa. So in addition to that, since this is a festive dish, this nasi lemak I am also going to serve with some chicken. And this is the chicken. Now, of course, to make it healthier, we are only using chicken breasts. And I have marinated these breasts last night itself. I have added some yogurt because yogurt does help in the tenderizing of the chicken, with my spices, which I'm going to show you, my beautiful spice box as well. So this is what we will need in the chicken, not all of them, but we need cayenne pepper or chili powder, we need the turmeric powder, we need coriander powder, and we need roasted cumin powder, all of which add to the taste. So now we are going to cook the rice, okay? I have already soaked the brown rice for about 20 minutes. This is 2 cups of rice, and this is the coconut cream, or so rather coconut milk. And normally we will cut it on the inside like this. There are 2 leaves here, so we need to break it up here because this is where the smell is. Beautiful smell. I'm going to put in a little bit of coconut oil. At the same time, I'm also going to put a bit of smashed ginger to give it a bit of flavor. Let's go in with the santan. See, it's only 1 cup of santan. And I am using now 2 more cups of plain water. To this, I'm going to add some salt and the beautiful fragrant pandan leaf. Now normally when we do the pandan leaf, this is how we fold it up. But we make cuts first inside here. Now it's time to make the sambal paste. We're going to start first with the small onions and the galangal, and that's going to go in first into the food processor. So we need a little bit of water to do this. And now we're going to put in the dry chilies. Now you notice these have been refreshed, and then we have actually taken out the seeds, and these are what the seeds look like. But we're not putting that in because that will make it very, very hot. So we want to refresh the chilies, and we're just putting in the skins. Okay? Now to this, we are also going to add some of the fresh chilies that I showed you just now. These are not half as hot. Okay, so these we have cut up as well. And to this, we are going to add the onions. Not all of them. And also the garlic. Right, we're going to put in about 5 to 6 cloves at least. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. And now the chili paste is done, and this is what we will need to fry in the oil. Okay? So now it's time to fry the sambal. And we are using our My Cooking Story cookware again to fry it because this one helps in slow cooking. Now I'm using extra virgin coconut oil to do this, but not so much because this pan you can afford not to put too much. So the first paste that we are going to put in is the onions and the galangal. Okay? Fry that a little bit. Nice smell. The next one is the chili paste that goes in as well. Normally, some people fry both together, but I was taught by a Malay lady when I was learning how to make nasi lemak that it's always best to fry the small onions and the shallots first of all. And now is the time when we have to cook this paste, and this is what takes a long time. The bulk of the cooking process is actually this part, alright, and letting the oil come to the top on a slow fire, because the longer you cook this, the nicer this paste is going to be. So now the paste has cooked down quite a bit, and you can see the oil is coming out, not as much as you would in a normal nasi lemak sambal, but enough of this, right? Remember I told you I was putting less oil anyway. Okay, and this is the coconut oil. Now the next thing that we want to do is to add the tamarind paste and to add the salt and the sugar. Now remember, in a normal sambal, the kind of sugar that they are using is always white sugar. But today, I am actually going to use a more natural source of sugar. That's how I make it healthier. And the sugar that I use is what we call gula melaka, which we have shaved down. And also, if we need, these are the sauces that I use, okay? I use dates. So if we need to, I am not putting the dates in unless we need to. We will start with the gula melaka. Now, many people also use honey, and the honey that they use is raw honey. Remember, this is natural from the beehive itself. Alright, please do not use any of the honeys that you see outside, because those are not natural and they will bring up your cholesterol levels and all that. Okay, so now we're putting in the tamarind. This is also an essential ingredient because it gives it that sour taste that we want. Salt and the gula melaka, which I have already crushed down. So for me, I like to put a little bit of krisek in my sambal as well, just to give it a darker color and also to give it a nice itty bitty kind of taste. A lot of people don't put this, but I find that it really helps the flavor, sweetens it a little bit more, and really thickens it down a bit more as well. So here we go, just about a bowl full of this. So now we have already put in the krisek as well, and the last step is to put in some more onions. Alright, these onions are going to give the sauce a lot more flavor as well, and we just put it in like this. So this is my version of a vegetarian sambal, because we do not use any of the traditional, in some of the traditional sambals, you actually put in things like dried prawns, and you put in ikan bilis. Alright, my ikan bilis is going to be served together with this. We also put one pandan leaf in the sauce, just to give it that beautiful fragrance that I was talking about. So let's look at the rice now and see whether it's done. It's been about 20 minutes. Whoa, look at that, and the smell is just gorgeous. And now the chicken that we had marinated yesterday, we have now cooked it in the air fryer, and I've done that for about 12 minutes on each side. So let's look at the chicken now. It should be nicely done. This I actually did in the Neo Vent cookware that is part of my cooking story as well. See, it's beautifully done. Alright, it's not a fried chicken, it's just like a grilled chicken, and really this is all that we need. So now it's time to plate our beautiful nasi lemak, but before we do that, we're going to mix the quinoa and the brown rice together, and put in a little bit more of coconut oil, the extra virgin coconut oil, which will give it that really coconutty flavor as well. I sent you all the video of how I made quinoa. So for those of you who are not familiar, please go back to that video which has been pinned in my profile page and you'll know how to make the quinoa. Okay, so now I'm going to mix the two. You can see how soft it is. So mix it together. Coconut oil I told you for the top. Alright, and now we're going to place it in there. Let's put both of these inside and pack it in nicely, okay? So here we go now. I'm going to be plating. This is the tempeh made in the air fryer. Green vegetable. Here I'm using spinach, ikan bilis, peanuts, which we can put down here. A little bit of parsley just to garnish the top. So here we have it, Geeta's clean and healthy nasi lemak, the original from the time when we cooked it for David Beckham, no less. Okay, so enjoy and Selamat Hari Raya and have a great one.